Organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on this Friday morning edition of Daily Iowan TV, Ped Mall protest. A group of protesters are receiving backlash. And later, new food options. We take a look at some changes coming to downtown Iowa City.
We take a look to see if the Iowa men's basketball team can come back from a 3-game losing streak.
And we have some theories of why the Hawkeyes just haven't seemed to be themselves recently.
All of that and more is coming up. This is Daily Iowan TV. Good morning and thanks for tuning in to our live Friday broadcast. I'm Cole Johnson. Yesterday afternoon, a group of protesters burned multiple American flags near Clinton Street on the Iowa City Pedestrian Mall. Members of the group claimed that setting fire to the flags had nothing to do with being anti-veteran, but to protest the racial and social injustice as well as the threat of fascism they feel President Trump is bringing. This comes after Trump's recent executive order for federal agencies like the EPA to halt releasing updates to the general public through different platforms. 2 people were charged under an Iowa law which requires a permit from the fire department to burn something out in a public space. Now, just a day after President Donald Trump signed orders to move the Keystone and Dakota Access Pipeline forward, a pipeline ruptured, spilling about 138,000 gallons of diesel fuel in northern Iowa on Wednesday. The 12-inch pipeline owned by Oklahoma-based Magellan Midstream Partners released diesel fuel that pooled in a farm field. Daily Iowan TV spoke with University of Iowa Student Government Senator Sean Finn about the spill, and he says this is the moment for leaders to step up.
There are many people who try and stay away from the issue because it's a very controversial issue, and I really hope that they will take these recent events to heart and take it seriously and take action.
The spill does not appear to affect any waterways, and no injuries or evacuations have been reported. The debate on women's reproductive rights is still ongoing as President Donald Trump signed an executive action on Monday to reinstate the Mexico City policy. The heartbeat bill, which was introduced earlier in the month, would ban abortions around the 6-week mark or when the fetus's heartbeat is heard. Cases of rape or incest are not exempted. For providers who perform abortions, they will get fined or receive up to 5 years in prison. President Donald Trump's reinstatement of the Mexico City policy took away complete U.S. government funding from international non-governmental organizations that promote or conduct abortion services. The Iowa Senate passed a budget bill on Thursday. This bill will cut $18 million from the University of Iowa, Iowa State University, and the University of Northern Iowa. $8 million will be cut from the University of Iowa and Iowa State University, while $2 million will be cut from the University of Northern Iowa. In a prepared statement from the University of Iowa's President Bruce Harold's office, he said, quote, "We can't lose the gifted educators and researchers who call the University of Iowa home, and we must continue to recruit talented people," end quote. The bill is expected to be passed by the Iowa House and signed by Governor Terry Branstad next week. Now, downtown Iowa City might be looking at another big change. The Iowa City City Council is looking to add a few more food options to the area, but these won't be like any old restaurant. Daily Iowan TV reporter Christopher Cervantes reports.
It has been just a couple of months after the completion of downtown construction, and the area is already facing another threat to their economic prosperity. The Iowa City City Council is getting close to approving an ordinance that will allow food truck vendors to park downtown from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. While the citizens and students of Iowa City may be looking forward to the food trucks, local businesses aren't as happy. They fear that the new competition may take a bite out of their profits.
It's hard to stay afloat and keep getting consistent business when there's just so many options, and the city council does nothing to help that, but it also has these food trucks also.
Some businesses have taken the news with a grain of salt. Mama's Deli went on record stating that they feared the long-term damages and similar ordinances that might pop up in the future. However, Chain restaurants like Pancheros are whistling a different tune.
We're not really too worried about it, just to be honest there. I really don't have a reason to be worried about food trucks coming.
Despite the difference in opinions, all three of the businesses I spoke to agreed on one thing. The Iowa City City Council acted kind of irresponsibly.
The city council hasn't really handled downtown very well as it is.
With everything going on after construction, like we're starting to slow down a little, and we hate that. So
The fall construction has already cost Iowa City the Den. Could a local restaurant be next? Reporting from downtown Iowa City, this is Christopher Cervantes, Daily Iowan TV.
Now, it might be a little cold and a little snowy for those food trucks. I've seen a lot of snow. I've seen people slipping on some ice. Kenzie, what's this about? How's the weather looking for this week?
That's right, Cole. This weekend looks like it will be a cold one. This morning, the temperature will be 24 with a high reaching 31 by this afternoon. It will be cloudy all day but remain dry. Tonight, the low will be 17 degrees, so be sure to bundle up if you have any plans. Now let's take a look at our 6-day extended forecast. Tomorrow, there will be a constant high of 29 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow evening will remain cloudy with a low of 18. Sunday will stay chilly with a high in the low 30s and cloudy skies. The sun will come out on Monday and it will warm up a bit with a high in the upper 30s. The clouds will come back Tuesday with a high in the mid 30s. Wednesday and Thursday will stay chilly with a high in the upper 20s, but the sun will be shining. That's your weather for the week. Cole, back to you.
Yesterday marked the opening of the Old Capitol's latest exhibit, Connected the Internet of Everyday Things. This exhibit highlights and educates on the various aspects of day-to-day life that connects everyday people to the internet. This is in line with the theme for the spring semester, Our Lives Online.
We think people should come see it because it's important to understand what some of the data that you're generating is being used for. It's important to understand some of the privacy and security concerns that are going to come up with these connected objects. And then it's important to know how you could add more connections to your daily life if you wanted to.
The exhibit is free and open to the public. On Thursday, members of the community had the opportunity to propose changes during the first round community workshop for Iowa City's Bicycle Master Plan. The goal of this plan is to make Iowa City more bike-friendly. The city currently holds a silver medal from the League of American Bicyclists and hopes to earn a gold medal through this plan. During Thursday's meeting, community members discussed the paths they would want to see once the plan is in place. The Chinese Lunar New Year, also known as the Spring Festival, is one of the most important Chinese traditional festivals that has been celebrated for more than 4,000 years. How will the Chinese population celebrate the holiday here in Iowa City? Daily Iowan TV reporter Zhao Li brings us more.
For many people, January 1st is the official start of the year, but the Chinese shares a different calendar for festivals. In fact, tomorrow will be the day when all Chinese people celebrate their New Year, also known as the Spring Festival.
We just get together to eat some meal and have a dinner, especially have some dumplings, some special foods in my town. My parents just give me some lucky money for that means we can be healthy and feel more comfortable in next year.
Although Xiao cannot reunion with his family, he said he's still happy with his friends around. Local Chinese groups like UI Chinese Students and Scholars Association are recreating the family atmosphere here in Iowa City, and every single year they're throwing a big Spring Festival gala.
We miss home very much. For the Spring Festival is the most important festival for the Chinese population.
We understand that most Chinese students they are far away from their home, and so we provide them this chance to meet with each other and to enjoy the festival.
A variety of Chinese traditional desserts and snacks will be provided. Make sure to check out their event in late February if you're interested. Reporting in the Iowa Memorial Union, Zhao Li, Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for that, Zhao. Now shifting gears a little bit, it is time for sports. I'm getting super excited for the game tomorrow. It's going to be a blackout against Ohio State. Let's toss it over to Mary Kate and Katie in the sports studio for more. Ladies?
Yeah, thanks, Cole. That's right. Iowa basketball is getting ready for Ohio State tomorrow after a disappointing loss to Illinois on Wednesday.
Yes, the Hawkeyes lost to the Fighting Illini 76-64, and many problems factored into this loss.
That's right. The game started off for the Hawks like they all have recently. slow, actually very slow. They had 6 turnovers within the first 8 minutes of the first half. Along with that, Peter Jacques was still not at full strength, which is having a major impact on the team since the Northwestern game.
Yeah, the bench players did step up again, though. Ahmad Wagner and Nicholas Bear were the 2 leading scorers with 12 points each, along with leading in rebounds, with Bear having 7 total rebounds and Wagner having 5 total rebounds.
You know, that group did some really good things in the first half. You know, in particular, you know, Ahmad Wagner, Bear, Ewell, and I thought those 3 guys, you know, in the second half were really, really good. Gave us a chance, you know, with their activity level defensively and, you know, getting to the glass and running the floor and you know, I just thought that's what we needed.
We will see if the bench will yet again help the Hawks this Saturday to get that win against the Buckeyes. Now moving into this Saturday's matchup against Ohio State, the Buckeyes are coming into Carver ranked 10th in the Big Ten with a 3-5 record and a 13-8 record overall, and they have some top players that are going to be rolling into Iowa City as well.
That's right. Now, 5 of those top players are averaging over 10 points a game. Jayshawn Tate with 13.9 points per game, Jaquan Lyle with 12.3 points per game, Mark Loving with 11.5 points per game, Trevor Thompson with 11 points per game, and lastly, Cam Williams with 10.1 points per game.
The Buckeyes have won their last 3 out of 4 games, and their most recent loss against Northwestern was only by 2 points, which will be interesting since Iowa lost by a lot more than 2 points.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see how they match up on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a little scary, but we're going to move on to Iowa. Since their major upset win against ranked Purdue, the Hawkeyes have lost their last 3 games. And as we mentioned before, a major factor in these losses is Big Ten's leading scorer, Peter Jacques.
That's right, Katie. Ever since the Northwestern game, something just has not seemed right in Jacques' game. He has been struggling with major back pain, which is definitely visible watching him play, and even his minutes on the floor have reduced.
Yeah, it's really sad to watch him play because it's obvious he's in so much pain. Yeah. And then along with Jacques being hurt, freshman point guard Jordan Bohannon was also not really full strength on Wednesday. Bohannon got the flu, but he still ended up playing. You know, it was also clear that he was not 100%, but he made a couple key threes in the end of the game, so I mean, he was still working through that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Katie, it seems as if the team has been almost in a little bit of a funk lately too, with injuries and illnesses and then all those turnovers and not getting off to strong starts. It will be interesting to see if the team can come together as one and try to get back to the team they were against the Cyclones earlier this season and then even against Purdue recently.
Yeah, the game we saw against Iowa State is just not the team that we've been seeing recently. They played out of their minds, but this game will be home, and they do seem to play better at home, so hopefully that gives them a little bit more power with Ohio State. It'll be a blackout. We haven't had a weekend game in Carver for a while, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Well, now moving on to a spring sport that's getting ready to start their season. Iowa baseball's very own head coach, Rick Heller, was just awarded the Harold Pinky Primrose Award.
The Pinky Primrose is one of the highest honors presented in the IHSBCA and can be presented to anyone who played high school baseball in the state of Iowa and went on in their career to distinguish themselves in the community, district, state, or at the national level.
Now, Heller is entering his 30th season as a head coach. He has 791 victories, including 101 of those at the University of Iowa. He's also one of 2 head coaches to lead Iowa to the NCAA tournament.
Coach Heller and the Hawkeyes have their season opener in Tampa, Florida on February 17th against South Florida. Tune in to our Monday show to get your updates as we have another big weekend coming up in Hawkeye sports with wrestling tonight, men's basketball and track and field tomorrow night, and then women's tennis and gymnastics on Sunday.
Yep, Cole, back to you.
Yeah, that's definitely a packed weekend for sports. And that's all for this edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check out our live broadcast Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. on dailyiowan.com. And be sure to pick up today's copy of The Daily Iowan. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.